As women, it feels like we're conditioned for marriage from a very young age. The question of when are you getting married comes right after schooling for most of us. And for some who even can't afford any education is right after they become of age. And sadly, in some parts of the world, even before these kids become of age, they are expected to get married. This mere fact already puts a huge limitation on us as women, and it just feels like, oh, something is wrong with you the moment you're yet to get married when everybody expects you to. Emphasis on expect you to. In this video, I am going to be talking about how you can break yourself free from that bondage as a woman. Yes, marriage is good. Yes, marriage is desirable. But your life as a woman before a husband is also very valuable and purposeful. Now, let's talk about decisions. It's funny that many people have actually never asked themselves, do I really want to get married? I know that recently there's been more questions of why should I get married, or I don't even actually want babies. And I love that for us because it's like we're finally getting to that, age of freedom where we're able to make decisions that we want, not what society puts on us. But we're not quite there yet, honestly. Now, I want you to take a moment in the course of your week and think on your decision to either become a wife or not. Now, if you're on the side that you've made a decision never to get married, good for you. All I just want to tell you is stick to your reason. Or first, do you have a reason? What's your reason? Are your reasons the right and valid reason? Because for a lot of people on this side, it's because of the trauma or the bad rave about marriage in today's world that have made them come to the conclusion of, I don't want to be a party to this, right? Now, if that's your reason, we might need to sit down and talk about that. But whatever your reason is, make sure it is valid to you and it is reasonable. I mean, Paul, even in the Bible, said, I don't want to get married. Do people think this is only okay if you're a man? No, it also applies to women. But like I said, just make sure that your reasons are valid and they are reasonable and stick with it. I'm rooting for you and good luck with every other thing that you're going to accomplish in your life because they are also very purposeful and beautiful. Now, to the other people who, like myself, you've always known that you desire marriage, you desire the companionship, the intimacy, you desire a family, you just love it, right? Now, also, I want you to take a moment to sit with your decision. The first thing is, why do you want a family so badly? Why do you want to become a wife? Unfortunately, many reasons are flawed. Many reasons are baseless. So I want you to really think about it. Write it out in a journal, if you will. What are your reasons for wanting to become a wife? Because that's really important. Now, to my best part, once you have decided you want to become a wife, I need you, hear me, I need you to understand, who do I want to be before I become a wife? A lot of people just waste away and they don't utilize this precious season of singlehood. Who do you want to be before you become somebody's wife? A lot of people have found themselves in situations where they didn't work on themselves. They were just lost, wasting away their precious time of singlehood, not taking advantage of that season to build themselves up, and they just get to being a wife and they are clueless and they feel like there is no other purpose to my life. Now, in cases like that, people get lost in family life, people get lost as a mom, as a wife, and they're trying to struggle with, what is my purpose? Those are the things you need to start to, even ponder and play with before you become a wife. Do you think Paul didn't know what he was saying when he was saying that the responsibilities of being a family woman are huge? And I don't want a party to that. He said what he said. Apostle Paul in the Bible. But if you have chosen to be that, then who do you want to be before you become a wife? It is so important. I'm not saying it has to be crystal clear. God is going to send someone in your life who is going to be equally yoked with you by God's grace. And like I heard it this morning in a podcast, your purposes are going to be intertwined. Whatever it is, maybe far ahead or far behind, but not too far. So that person is still going to be a huge part of your purpose. But you also have a huge role to play as to how far have I gone? I always love to say this, and I don't even know if I've said it on this space before. My nickname Solutions is something I got as a single girl when I was just on fire. I am so devoted to, my Christian life. I wasn't wasting my years and just saying, oh, when is the man going to come? I desired it, but I wasn't dwelling on it. And it was at that time that I got my nickname Solutions. And obviously all I had was an idea. So I remember going on Instagram and I opened my page, Tolulokwe, I am a solutions. That was how my page was. And I remember after I met my husband, one of his friends, a female, she was actually jesting and she was saying, Tolulokwe, I am a solutions. Like, I felt like she was really making fun of that name. But with time, the vision has become clearer for me. Even the name has been modified, right? But I had an idea of who I am, who I wanted to be, even before I became somebody's wife. A lot of you are just out there partying and spending away and just waiting. You're waiting. Unfortunately, when the man comes, for a lot of people, they wait and they settle. And when they settle, there is even nothing else then to their life, because that's like, how are you going to do this? Now, if you're going to take my advice and write out all those before lists, here are a few things I want you to note. Spiritually, this is your time. This is your time. By the time you have the demands of marriage, the demands of motherhood, the reality of it that even God knows is that you're going to have less time to build yourself up. It's like the foundation of a house. The more you've put into it, and obviously the location, is what will determine how well it's going to stand. Matthew 7:25 says, there are people who build their houses on the sand, and the rain came and the wind blew and boom, off you went. But the people who take the time to build on the rock, and the storms will still come and the rain will still come, but the house was standing strong. So this is your time to build on a rock as a single person. Your life still has so much value, and you don't have to wait for a husband to come and say, I'm waiting for my priest. My priest is going to come to shepherd my life. You're the first prophet of your life. Even now, before the priest comes along, how well are you developing yourself spiritually? The next is financially. This contributes to a huge chunk of the reasons why many women are stuck in abusive relationships, abusive marriages, and they just have no way out because they haven't empowered themselves before they became wives. Some have even become wives and they can't even still be bothered to empower themselves. But that's not what we're talking about today, okay? Before you get into marriage, empower yourself financially. For you, that might be the career route. What are you doing about it? What steps are you taking on that? For you, it's a time to write out your ambitions and start to work towards it. What do you want your life to be? For some, you have to start investing. Build up yourself financially. Oh yes, our money becomes our money, or his money becomes yada yada. But you can't afford to go in just looking at that man's pocket. I don't advise it for anybody. As a single person, have your own. As a married woman, have your own. You better have your own, and not for the wrong reasons. But it just empowers you, and heck, it gives your life value. More value than, I'm just somebody's wife. What assets are you bringing to the table? Do you know the respect that this men put on your assets now compared to when they say, oh, if she has a car, she's not my type, or oh, she's already living in her own apartment. No, I don't want that babe. It's a lie. That's the kind of babe they're looking for now. Oh, you haven't heard? That's the kind of babe no man wants a liability these days. So empower yourself financially. And in your pursuit of that, you're building value, you're adding value to yourself. It's not until you become Mrs. Mentally. You see, it's funny because some people just become wives and just based on the demands of wife life or when they become moms, they have no clue what to do with themselves mentally. They're unable to work out. They're unable to get up and, fulfill their ambitions. You know, guys, I always say ambitions. They're unable to get up and fulfill their ambitions because they haven't built up themselves mentally. There's nothing wrong as a single lady. You already have a therapist. There's nothing wrong with that. You're building up yourself mentally. You're going to need it. You're going to need a lot of it. Are you mature enough? Are you emotionally mature enough to, face the issues that come with navigating a family life? You're going to be dealing with in-laws. You're going to be dealing with friends of your husband. You're going to be dealing with so many of these people. How much emotion have you built? Or one day your mother-in-law comes to your house and she tells you, this face looks funny. I'm going to rearrange it for you. And you start to cry. You start to wail. Oh, she hates me. Oh, she... Girl, Okay, mom, do you? The moment she leaves, I'll rearrange it. That is mental capacity. Have you built that to be emotionally mature enough? In my culture, they call it ojuaye, like eye service. And I'm not a party to that, I have to say right now. But there is a very thin line between also having wisdom and, exercising wisdom and making it seem like you're doing eye service, especially in my culture. No, you can't tread on me and walk all over me. I'm not going to kiss your ass to the point where, you literally sit on the eye. But I also have the wisdom to let you do you what is it going to cost me? What is it going to cost me? And I'm not perfect. I'm not saying I'm perfect. But I'm just sharing from, the wealth of wisdom that God has blessed me with. Build up yourself. Listen to people like this who want to give you advice and counsel from what they have learned. These days, I always say it. The best experience, the best teachers is not your own experience. It's other people's experiences. It's helped me so much. I must see for myself. Leave that in the past. People are trying to cut out years of sufferhead from your life. And you're stuck with, I must see for myself. Okay, now, go on. Now, there are people who might have done all of these things and girl, I am ready. If that's you say, I am ready. And you feel like, I'm on top of this. Where's the man? This is not something that is in your control 100% of the time. I honestly believe that the marital destiny is a clear representation of faith and work. You can't just say, oh, I'm waiting, I'm using my faith, I'm waiting on the Lord. I said it in a video that went viral the other time. But you're not putting in any work. You're not even stepping out of your house, yada yada. And you can't be on this side where you're just saying, oh, it's all work, I'm going to go out, I'm going to do that. And there is really no faith backing. The whole marital destiny is going to end up like that because you also haven't introduced faith. So for me, I see the marital destiny as something that really incorporates these two parts, as the Bible says it. Right? Now, you've done all of that. You say, where's the man? Where's the man? Let's take a look at Proverbs 31 woman. Look at all the things that she did. It's funny how her husband was only mentioned in 2 verses. Out of all of the 31 verses. We're busy talking about what she's good for in her life. And that's the good news I'm bringing. Where you are is a great place. I want you to admit it right now. While we wait for the husband to come. Admit it right now. While you wait for the husband to manifest. And not just admitting it, be very content with it. Get to a place of surrender. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Get to a place of surrender. I had to get there. God, you know what? If there is no man in my life, if I don't ever get married, if they don't walk me down the aisle, I still want my life to give you glory. That place of surrender changed the game for me. Because that's when God then knows that, okay, I see you. So be okay and content with your current situation. Also, build a community of fellow women. Build a community. We can't get lost in community. There's an effect that community has that it just holds us together. When we want to break down, that's why I love my community of ladies. I have a mentoring school, Solutions Mentoring School. And it's funny that some people from that mentoring school, they've traveled together. I'm saying they now have planned girls trip. One of them traveled twice together. And I'm just girl, you are living it up. Yes, do they want to get married? Oh, yes. Is it a prayer point for us? Oh, yes. It's something we're hoping for. But one thing I'm not going to let you do is stop your life just because you're waiting around for that husband. So join a community. Find church groups. You don't have to join my mentoring school. Find church groups. But if you want to join it, I'm going to leave a link actually to join the wait list. Currently, I have a wait list for the session starting later this year. But it doesn't have to be that. You can join church communities. You can find friends who have like mind, colleagues who with your discernment, they're in the same position and they're a good community. Find your community and hold on to them and do life with them. And guess what? That becomes an asset even when the husband comes. Because even when your husband comes, even when you're married, you still need people to lean on. Travel together. Really live. And also, I have to say this. If you're becoming of age, and this is something that I'm not even afraid to tell my friends who are maybe in their 30s, late 30s, and they're yet to get married. There's a reason we're born at a time as this. If you need to freeze your eggs, do it. There is no point saying, oh, I'm waiting for my husband. But you know that your biological clock is ticking. Freeze your eggs. Even if you end up getting married in your 40s, you just take a visit to the fertility bank. You have your eggs frozen and waiting for you. It's an option that is very valid and people don't talk about it enough. People don't. At least that's one worry out of your life. Because another thing is the pressure of, okay, my time is going. I need to quickly get married so that I can quickly have kids before my biological clock ticks out. These are things that's a reality. You can't deny what is happening. Do we believe in miracles of people in their 50s, 70s having babies? Yes, that's miracle. But I always say it, we don't live by perpetual miracles. Even Jesus doesn't want us to do that, because that would take us away from the process and from the reality and principle of faith and walk. So freeze your eggs. If you're, in a position to do that, you're blessed to do that, you have access to this, innovation around you, freeze your eggs. Don't let anybody shame you for it. I'm going to share a couple of Bible verses now, but before I do it, let me talk to the people who actually have nothing good to say to unmarried women. You are the problem, and unfortunately, it is women alike. There goes women supporting women. It is so unfortunate. You find this even in the church community. Once you know that someone is done with school, once you know that someone is in her early 30s, even late 20s, you're like, when is your husband coming? No, that's rude. I'm not saying every situation. Obviously, you're close to people enough to ask them. And even the way you ask the people you're close to also matters. Because we can laugh and joke about it, but that might be a struggle for them mentally when they get back home. Hey, what's up? Are you seeing someone? Okay, I'm praying for you. And do pray for them. And do hook them up if you're opportune to. And do invite them out to events where you know they're prospects. Do those. Do those. Yeah. There's even a right way to say the right thing, even to people who are close to us. Let's not throw away all sensitivity because she's just my sister, or she's my old friend, she will understand. How do you say these things are concerns for them too? So watch the way, in my place they call it agbekale, or the way you present it is so important. Now, if the person isn't close to you, this is why I say a lot of times to those who just come on social media and run their mouth, hey, you have no business asking anyone, when are the babies coming? Oh, when is your husband coming? Oh, you're so old. Now you need a king. You need a priest. You need yada yada. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Then your business. That's not your business at all. Mind the business that pays you. Mind the people giving you troubles in your own husband's house. Okay, you're already in your husband's house. Mind the people that your husband is chasing about. Obviously, I'm being petty, but please let's stop asking people and putting unnecessary pressure on women. When are you going to get married? Oh, your time is going. I'm praying for you. I have an auntie. She's still 70 now. She never got married. You know what? In 2024, let's do this. If you have nothing good to say, if you have nothing edifying to say, this is biblical. Zip it. Thank you. The Bible says in Isaiah 60:22 that when the time is right, I, the Lord, will make it happen. And these are just verses that can keep you encouraged and, keep you hopeful in the fact that your time is coming. And when God comes, whether it comes early or late, it comes big as far as God coming. Okay? The second is Jeremiah 29:11. The plans I have for you are of good and not of evil, to bring you to an expected end. These are words you need to hold on to, meditate on. And, even in your place of surrender, you can still say these words. Is you meditating on the word of God, his promises and his covenant for you. And lastly, Romans 8:28. God makes all things. This is my story. This is the part I love the most. He makes all things work together for my good. And God's going to do that for you. This waiting season is going to end up working together for your good. The people who have been in relationships where, the guy broke their heart and they don't make sense of it. Like, I've been in this relationship for 8 years, 10 years. It's just going to leave me and go marry some chick he just met on this useless dating app. But God is preserving you. But God is making that even work together for your good. And that's on God. Honestly, it's not going to let you walk through the fire when it could have saved you. Only if you're patient enough, though. When he says don't go, you actually hold on right there. But the Lord is your strength. And yeah, that's all I have to share. I didn't know this video would be this long. But I'm rooting for you. I'm rooting for all that you're going to accomplish in 2024. I'm rooting for all that you're going to accomplish out of this singlehood. Take care. Bye for now. Out of all of the 31 verses. How many verses are in Proverbs 31 again? Is it 13? It's 31.